Ame sir, once Binsu sir and Prashant sir joins, then we will go live, right?
Yes.
Yogesh sir, I think we can go live. We will start in 1 minute. Okay. Okay. So shall I start then?
Yes, madam. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yogesh sir, can you mute? Okay. So, a very good morning to all. On behalf of Pillai College of Engineering, New Panvel, I welcome you all for the orientation of institute level optional courses 1, which is going to be offered in semester 5. So, before we start with the orientation program of the individual courses, I would request our principal, Dr. Sandeep Joshi sir, to please address the students. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Good morning, students. Uh, you might have heard about institute level optional courses in your syllabus. Your mentors might have told you, and this is the time now where you can start choosing the options available, the subject options which institute is offering to all of you. These are interdisciplinary subjects. Many a times you find that non-engineering subjects are also included, which is good for all of us. Actually, you can go along with your passion, and that passion, those subjects will give you energy to learn other core subjects. That is the whole purpose of offering institute level optional courses, and this is need of new education policy also. So you will find variety of subjects. You might have seen those subjects in your syllabus, which is available on our website. And today you will get the brief glimpses of all those subjects. Maybe you need to choose a group of subjects in your fifth semester itself. Once you complete the institute level optional course 1, then in line with that you will get the courses in upcoming semesters also. So this is a serious business. You all have to be honest, attentive and serious while listening to the faculty members who are giving you the orientation. This is of course a brief orientation, give you idea about this particular option, and then after that you can discuss with concerned faculty members or with your mentors, and accordingly you can fill the option form. Based on the option forms, there is a certain limit that for one particular subjects certain number of students have to opt for that subject, and then only it will be offered. So I guess you need to give the choices. First choice, second choice, and I guess third choice for our subjects. You will be informed accordingly in due course of time, and as per that, your subject will be fixed. So be attentive during these presentations and feel free to ask your queries about the subjects. Today, the time may be less because all the subjects have to be covered in one go. But even after that, you can contact a particular faculty member for the orientation, or you can contact to your head of the department or your mentor if you have any problem in choosing which optional course you have to go for. So all the very best and happy learning. Thank you so much. Over to you, Richa madam.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So, student, before we start with the orientation of the first course, I would just like to share the details of all the courses which we are offering. Just a minute. So, students, as sir said, we are having a basket of 14 specialization which we are offering at institute level. Every specialization will have two courses into it. The first course will be offered in semester 5, that is the coming semester. And once you go for a particular specialization, the second course with that specialization will be offered in sem 6. So please make sure that once you have selected the specialization, you have to go for the both the subject in the same specialization. There would be no provision to change the specialization in semester 6. I repeat again, once you have selected a specialization in SEM 5, the second course in the same specialization will be offered in SEM 6. Okay, so today we are having the orientation of all the courses which are there for your semester 5. So this is just a reference. The sequence may change a bit as per the availability, but today we will be having orientation of these 14 subject under this 14 specialization. To start with, the first course which we will be having the orientation for would be designed for sustainability. And for this, I would like to welcome Professor Binsu Babu sir. Professor Binsu sir.
Yes, ma'am. Good
Yeah,
morning, everyone. Am I
over to
audible?
you. Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. I hope so. My presentation is visible to all.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay,
It's
okay.
visible.
Yeah, okay. So thank you, everyone. So good morning to students who are here. So I would be basically giving a brief overview on design for sustainability. So first, like what are the course objectives? So most of you might have been hearing around this term called as sustainability. There is a lot of hype regarding this term in industry as well as from social way. So basically, in the course objectives, we are trying to understand all those things like how you can provide sustainable engineering solutions, how you can come up with some concepts or analytical methods which can be applied for engineering applications in industries, and how you can also contribute in sustainable way. That's what we are covering in the course objectives. So now I will, so as clearly mentioned by ma'am, like what you are going to be learning if you are going for sustainability in this semester. So next semester you will be going for this subject, that is technologies for rural development. Now I will take you to the different modules that we are going to cover. So let's begin with module one. So in module one, we are going to just discuss about the difference between what is sustainable and what is unsustainable. So this is so what is unsustainable? So it means like if you start consuming anything at the current rate, in the future generations may not be able to use it. So what is the concept of sustainability? Basically, control the consumption rate by using some other alternative methods. Say, for example, the renewable sources of energies. So as you all know, the fossil fuels are all non-renewable. So even the government of India, you can see it is, motivating even the common people to go for electric vehicles as compared to fossil fuels driven vehicles in order to cope up with the growing air pollution that is around globally. So this is what we'll be discussing in module one, along with some examples of like what is sustainable and what is unsustainable. So this is a brief case study which I got from a literature. So let's see if I can show it. Yeah. So if you see towards the left, what the images that is shown to you is basically of our North Pole, the Arctic ice regions. So you can see in the year 1980, this was the stretch of the Arctic ice, and eventually into 2012. So you can see how the mass has drastically got reduced. So the reason for this is basically the greenhouse gases. So I don't know whether you know if the yeah, whether you know this phenomenon. So if the entire North Pole, if it is about to melt out, then eventually that may lead to flooding across lot of places globally. So that's why you can see, there are a lot of global level meetings taken on the same, like, wherein every nation or every country is promising that their carbon footprint by the end of this year would be so and so that they can prevent the effect of greenhouse gases in the future generations. Now, towards the right side that you see, that is some statistic that is from International Energy Agency. They are just comparing with the number of death rates, if you compare with the World War and due to the existing air pollution. So that is quite higher. So these are the regions, why we have to move on to sustainability.
Binsu sir, sorry to interrupt you. Just a small
Yeah.
announcement. Students, by if any chance the meeting ends, please rejoin the meeting with the same link. Okay? Yeah. Sir, sorry. You can continue.
Okay, okay. So going on to the next, so in module 2, we are going to discuss about this, that is the product life cycle. I don't know whether you know this concept about product life cycle, so I will just give a brief example about this thing. I will give a brief example with respect to your phone itself. So all of you are having your own mobile phone, right? So there are different phases in which hello, uh, Richa ma'am, I guess the meeting got ended. So could you kindly give
Yeah,
me the
sir. I,
slide?
I will I will make you. I will make you host. Yes, sir. You can continue.
Cycle. So, I was giving the example of a phone. So if you need to make, say, if you think about how your phone is made, so a company would first go into, what type of raw materials may be involved in making your phone. That is the first thing that they may be doing. And second would be like, okay, now having identified the raw materials, so how you would process that materials. Then, so 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 when there is a phone, there would be some dimensions that the company would be having, like whether it should be in such a way that you can easily keep in your pockets, or should it be slightly bigger. So based on that, the different manufacturing and assembly methods are set up. And once that is done, then it's like the maintenance and maintenance facilities that the company provides to the customer. And then last one is the end of life. So what happens normally what is observed, if your mobile phone, let's say if you have been using it for 5 years, and eventually if it's not working or it's not able to do the functions, what normally is done, it is discarded. So what happens when it is discarded, it goes into the landfill. So that again, that is ultimately leading to a unsustainable environmental conditions. So you can think about it like, can the company make mobile phones in such a way that every components of the phone can be having a sustainable effect onto it. So when I say every components, it begins with the raw material, begins with the processing techniques, production assembly, etc. So this is what we'll be learning in module 2. And the same thing what I discussed in the previous thing. So we'll be also discussing about LCA, which is called as life cycle assessment. So it simply means to do all the processes to make a product. So how many energy and materials you are consuming and how much effect they are causing to the air, to the water and soil. So it's just like a calculation. So for this, there are a lot of online apps. So during our lectures, we'll be discussing like how to use the online apps to calculate all those things. Now in module 3, we are going to discuss about product service system. So product service system, it means like if you are making a product, so it is classified on three categories. So the first category is, are you making a product just based on product orientation, or is it based on user orientation, or is it based on service orientation?
Uh-huh.
So keeping these three things in
I,
view, so the service, the products can be a tangible or intangible. So tangible means that products which you can physically feel or touch. Intangible means ones which you cannot physically feel or touch. So I'll give you some examples here. So if you see there is a tab over here, so you can basically touch the tab. You can create some concepts, sketches. But if you see, I also given an image of a insurance company. Now, what happens with the insurance companies? Say if you own a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, you may have some insurance of your vehicles. So, but that may be in a digital or a paper format. So, in that case, you are not physically touching the vehicle. So, that's how we say it as an intangible system. So, we will be discussing all these things with much more details, what are tangible, intangible, and how a company decides whether it should be product, user, or service oriented. Now, coming to the next module, that is module 4. So, module 4, we are going to discuss about the engineering design criteria and guidelines. So here we are going to see what are the different standard, design engineering design guidelines as per sustainability aspects. Where are in which all areas we have to think about a sustainable, sustainable factor. The first one is like how you can minimize the material consumptions. Then we'll be discussing how you can come up to designing components where the energy consumption is less. Then there is less of toxic emissions, making use of renewable and biocompatible resources to make a product. Then how you can increase the lifespan of a product without having any harmful effects on the environment or the person who is going to use it. And then finally, design for disassembly. So what is design for disassembly? I'll give a simple example. So it means if you are making a product, if you are making a product, can you make a product in such a way that, that it has the less components? Because lesser the components, less time will be taken to disassemble it and reassemble it. So that is what we mean by design for disassembly. Then this will be discussing in the fourth module about the design criteria and guidelines. Now in module 5, we are basically going to discuss about, how going with the current phase, like how we can have sustainable aspect introduced into different, say, different domains. So the first image that you see, it's a building. So now what is the problem is most of the urban areas you see there is the number of tree plantation that are very less. In short, wherever the trees were existing, that is normally converted into multiplex towers and all. So now by that you're affecting the environment, you're also affecting the sustainable aspect into it. So how you can cope up? So you can see many urban areas right now in Mumbai, also in Middle East countries, uh, wherever you find multiplex towers, they are basically coming up with this greenery aspect introduced along with the architecture so that everything goes in balance. The image too that you see is about a farmer. So he's somewhere in France. So what he has done is he has come up with his own sustainable agricultural system. So what he has done is he has made his own organic farming environment wherein he's able to grow different types of vegetables, fruits all around the year. So he's not bothered about the seasonal effect that may happen into picture or that may cause some problem with cultivation of certain types of vegetables or crops. Now, this concept you can also see is being used by many startup companies. You might have heard many companies having startups wherein they are giving lot of pitch or voice to the organic farming environment. What they are doing is whatever living space they have, they're converting it to an organic farming environment, and they are able to earn lakhs of rupees based on the business that they're doing into it. Now, the third image that you see is, wherein uh, when you are making a city plan, so the city plan should be in such a way that everything is uh, sustainable. So what you can see when you see about these houses, so most of the houses they are having solar panels. So it's basically we are making use of the renewable source of energy to power most of the entities that is there within the house. And also you can see proper greenery that is getting surrounded. So this all things will eventually help in, help in basically minimizing the effect of greenhouse gases that is happening globally around the world. So we'll be discussing these three case studies in details when we come to model 5. Then coming to the last model, here we are going to discuss about green building technologies. So what are green building technologies? The necessity of green building technologies, how they are built, what are the principles, and how you can use low energy materials into it. Okay, so these are the different 6 modules that you have in design for sustainability. Now, coming to the assessment part, so you would be having internal assessment 1, that would be a theory paper. And now internal assessment 2, so I am thinking of incorporating some certification into this. So actually our college has, we use a software called as Solid. So in that software, we do have a provision of, getting students certified in sustainability. That is not there right now with us, but I am thinking of making you all certified in that. So that would have some global recognition to all of you, and also it will help you in your future aspects. So that I am working on how we can incorporate that, because that will give you much more practical insights into how the industry is going with respect to sustainability. So assessment IA1 would be there. IA2, it would be a partial certification and maybe some project work. So that's all from my side. So if any student is having any queries or anything is coming up in the chat, I would be happy to address it.
Model 6 है necessity.
Yeah, Richa ma'am. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
done from my
yeah,
side.
students, if you have any query related to the course, you can ask the subject expert.
ओए गोपी वो तो मेरे को भी बोलना पड़ेगा मेरे को भी देना है बुक्स
So students, one request, you please be muted. Everyone can hear what you are discussing. So kindly make yourself muted before you speak.
Okay, sir, as you mentioned, they will contact their mentors if they have any queries, right? So,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
yeah. So we will move on. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Now, students, coming up to the next course, I will be presenting the orientation for the next course. Just give me a second. Yeah. So again, a good morning to all of you. So the next course which I will be discussing is Introduction to Bioengineering. And this is the first course which we are offering under the specialization of bioengineering, right? So I'm a faculty in Department of Mechanical Engineering. Now, coming to the course, as I already told you in the first slide, that there will be 2 courses under every specialization. So, along with this introduction to bioengineering in SEM 5, the second course which will be offered in this specialization will be biomechanics in SEM 6. So, but now today I will be just giving you a importance of this specialization, that what is the relevance of this specialization in the current industry, and what are the contents which you would be made aware of in this course, right? Now, coming to introduction to bioengineering, I would just like to tell you that what do you mean by bioengineering? Now, from the word itself, you can understand this is something related to bioorganisms, right? So, just a minute. Right. So now what happens is, being an engineer, right? Now, I will give you a very simple example, which I always tell the students is, whenever you have any problem and you visit a doctor, right? You enter into the clinic or any hospital, you find so many things nearby you, right? Just from a simple instrument like stethoscope, right? The doctor checks the patient health, or you have a BP apparatus. It can be a glucometer. It can be a on a larger scale, if I talk about it, it can be an MRI machine, or it can be a CT scan machine, or n number of things are there which helps a medical practitioner to diagnose the problem or even treat it, right? Like in operation theater also, you might find so many devices are there, right? Now, what happens is, do you think that all these instruments are made by a doctor? Not at all, right? There must be some engineers, I would say, those who have come together and they have designed and made these instruments. Now, what happens is, suppose if you're making this instrument, which is going to be actually used by a doctor, you need to understand some of the terminologies or some of the basic knowledge you should have before you go into the making of these components or doing some research or something like that, which is relevant and applicable to medical industry. So these subjects are more focused on that preliminary knowledge which a engineer should have, so that whenever you discuss upon the problem statement, it is easy to you to communicate with the medical doctors or anyone for whom you are going to make that device or any research which you are going to do, right? So in general, you can say that bioengineering is focused on learning the principles and techniques which are used to solve biological or medical problems, right? More focus we will be doing, right, on human body, right? How are the bones, the joints are there? What are the properties of the bone materials or tissues, or some basic knowledge, so that when you discuss or when you solve any problem, you will be able to easily communicate and understand the problem statement more. And with this subject, you also will be able to design those equipment and device which are used to diagnose the medical problems, and also, as I mentioned, to treat the problems which the doctors are facing with. Now, in this industry, you must have also heard about implants, right? Now, implant is a external part which we are going to put inside a human body and which is going to be there inside a human body, right? Now, whenever the implants are fixed, you need to understand what would be the material of that implant. Such a material which can be there in a human body for a period of time or maybe lifelong. So you need to understand the different materials which are available, and so that which are suitable for the making of implants. As along with this, you also need to understand the properties or the mechanisms of a human body, if I talk about joints. So all this basic knowledge you will be learning in these courses, which are in SEM 5 and SEM 6, right? So these, obviously, as you know, all these subjects which are offered have some objectives. So in short, as I told you, you will be able to understand basically first the human anatomy. What are the different types of joints available? What are the material of the bones, tissues, and other things? You also will be understanding what are the properties of these bones and tissues. Also, as I mentioned, the movement between the different bones, and some laws which our body is following, some physical laws which our body is following, and which will help you to design those equipments and understand the problem statement. In this, you will be also, as I mentioned, the properties of your blood vessels, because what happens is, suppose if you are doing some simulation and you are trying to mimic the problem and you apply some engineering knowledge, you need to understand the behavior also of the human organs, right? So for that, all this knowledge you would be gaining so that you find out a solution which is more feasible. Okay. Now, as you know, all these subjects are divided into modules. So we'll just go first and understand what are different modules which is of more concern to you. So in the first module, that is introduction, biomechanics means what is, it is basically, you must have learned mechanics in first year, right? So when you learn mechanics, you understand the movement between two linkages. Right. Similarly, our body is made up of bones, right? So when you want to uh, solve a problem statement related to our human body, you need to understand our mechanics also. So that you will be learning what is biomechanics, right? And as I told you, you will be understanding what is the anatomy. Every bone is having a name. You should know what are the different bones called as, because when you will be sitting with a medical practitioner and he will say mandible, you should understand what do you mean by mandible, right? So these terms you will be understanding when you will understand the anatomy of a human body. Now, as I mentioned you, actually we have one more specialization which is related to bioengineering, which you will be getting the subject experience after my specialization. But suppose the students are not opting for that specialization, we have include a small basic concept in this specialization also, so that you are aware of what exactly different instrumentations which are used for diagnosis, how they behave. Some important point you will learn in this subject also. So the second module is on biomedical instrumentation, where you will understand how these different, at least few instruments like pacemakers or ventilators, how these are functioning. So that if you are coming up with a problem statement in which a device needs to be designed, some basic knowledge you will be having and you can apply the same principles and theories to different instruments. And the third module is about medical image processing. Now, what is happening is whenever you are doing any simulation, right, you need to make a model of the a subject, or you can say organ on which you are going to do some simulation. Now, in today's scenario, you must have known about CT scans and MRIs. But apart from this, there are different image processing. Right now, these image processing devices are, as I told you, are also designed and developed by engineers. Right. So you need to understand how you can scan a human body and get different images, and how these images can be used for further analysis. So in medical image processing, you will be learning those applications, right? So that you can get images of the human body. As just for your knowledge, as if you do an X-ray, you just get a 2D image. But when you go for an MRI or a CT scan, you get multiple images which can club together and give a idea of the 3D aspect of the organ on which you are going to diagnose, right? So all this image processing techniques you will be learning in module 3. Now, the fourth module, which is related to this course, is on biomaterials. As I told you, that implants need to be made, right? Now, these implants are made up of some materials which are compatible with the human environment, which is inside our body, and it is not going to harm the human body. So, these are called as biomaterials, right? So, where you can replace the muscles, tissues with some similar material which is available in the nature, right? Now that you will be learning in the fourth module. The fifth module is on the design of implants. As I told you, implant can be when you are going for root canal, you have a cap inside your mouth. That is also an implant. When you're going for hip replacement, there is an implant. When there is a implant in your, if there is some fracture, you put some screws and rods. Those are also implants. So all this understanding that how these implants can be designed, that you will be learning in the fifth module. And in the sixth module, it would be more focused on some case studies, so that you understand whatever you have learned, how you can apply it to the real world. Now I will make this as short I have done, but I will, instead of going more into the content, I would like to just tell you some examples so that you can understand how this course will help you to in your problem solving, right? Now you can see here, this is a mandible where we have got the 3D model from some images, and we have done some finite element simulation on this to find out the stress and strain which are coming on a mandible whenever there is some chewing operation or something like that. So suppose if you're designing an implant and you want to find out that how this implant is going to work on actual condition, you can do this type of simulation. Now, if suppose you want to do this simulation, as I told you, some basic knowledge is required, which you will be learning in the subject. Similarly, suppose you are going to design a device, right, to do some holes or which will assist in some surgery, then again you need to understand how that human body is behaving so that you can design your device. Now, all these problems which I am discussing with you, these are the problems which the students have solved it, right? So if they are giving a solution, as I told you, this knowledge is going to help them to execute the problem statement. Now, again, if you are making some prosthetic arm, then again, you are using some EMG sensors, you are designing the wrist, you need to understand what are the movement of the fingers, what is the type of movement, how many degrees of freedoms are there. So all this again, subject knowledge will help you to design and work in prosthetic. It can be an arm, it can be a foot, anything with prosthetic which you are going to design, it will help you to in that field also. Now again, nowadays 3D printing is very, very common. Even the every profession you can find out that 3D printing is used. Similarly, 3D printing is used in medical industry also. They make models using 3D printing, which helps them before the surgery also, and even the implants are also made with the help of 3D printing, right? So again, this is also one of the area where the subject will help you to design. Now again, as I told you, these are some plates which are used to fix the broken parts of the body. As I told you, it can be a screw, it can be a rod, it can be a plate. Now again, when you're designing this plate, when you're designing this, you need to understand the anatomy and the behavior of different organs so that you can design the implants in a better way. So this was also a study which was done. Now, apart from this, there are various studies which were done in our institute. It can be analysis of a cancer. It can be some image processing which can identify whether the scans which you have generated is having some cancerous tissues into it. It can be the identification of some diseases. All this, you will be image processing will help you. Or if you want to make some detection module, you will be this subject will be helpful to you. As I told you, if you want to make a device, if you want to work on some new materials or drug delivery systems, all these areas where you are going to do research into medical industry, these subjects are going to help you in to a extent. Now, these are just few things which I have discussed you, but still, if you want to know more about the subject, you can anytime contact me. As I told you, I am a faculty in Department of Mechanical Engineering, and I would be available in R002 lab, or you can contact me on my mobile number also if you need to understand more on this subject. So thank you. If you have any queries, you can unmute and ask me right now also, students. Okay. Okay. So as I told you, we have some issues with our Zoom meeting. I'm really very sorry for that. So we are just keeping it short. So with this, I end my orientation and I request our next speaker, Professor Sridevi Kulkarni. Ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. So Dr. Sridevi Kulkarni
Yeah.
would be giving the orientation on biomedical instrumentation. Over to
Yeah.
you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, ma'am. I'm just sharing my screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, thank you, madam. So now madam has already explained about bioengineering, and this is the other subject which is related to bioengineering, which is biomedical instrumentation. So now I will give you an overview of some of the differences which madam has already explained about prosthetics, etc., and what is the content that is present in biomedical instrumentation. So this term, biomedical instrumentation, is basically related to instruments that are related for medical domain. That means all the instruments which are used in the hospitals by the doctors and for the patients. So starting from the simple instrument like a BP apparatus, which is used in order to measure the blood pressure of a patient, up until the CT scanner, the MRI. So all these kinds of instruments, they can be categorized into biomedical instrumentation. Now for the syllabus, what we are going to have for biomedical instrumentation is as follows. So this particular course is going to have the first one, that is fundamentals to um, bioengineering. The next one will be biomaterials and biomechanics. The third one is going to be bioelectric signals. The next one is introduction to diagnostic instruments. The next one will be for the therapeutic instruments, AI for healthcare. So the overview of this entire syllabus is going to be like this. I'll just tell you the flow with which the syllabus is being framed. This is basically an introductory course where the student is going to learn everything about the biomedical instrumentation. So all these instruments which are going to be used in the hospital. So first thing is we are going to learn about some fundamentals. That is, we are going to learn about the anatomy, the physiology, actually from where the signals are going to get originated from, because every instrument needs a signal in order to process, in order to understand, and in order to control. So the first part is going to be the signal, and what we are going to do is we are going to learn about different types of biosignals which are originating from various parts of the body. The next one, to give you a gist of for those students who are interested in biomaterials and mechanics, as madam has already mentioned, it is going to be about the biomaterials and the biomechanics. So in this, we are going to understand a little bit on the bones, structure of the bone, what are the tissues, soft tissues, types, joints, some of the prosthetics, implants, and orthotics. We are also going to learn a little bit on what type of materials are going to be used for implants, prosthetics, and we'll also learn a little bit on orthotics and wellness devices. Now once this is over, we will the rest of the part is more related to instrumentation. So we are going to take these signals, process the signals, that is, how do we hear the signals, how are we going to analyze these signals, how are we going to work with these signals. So this third unit which is there, it is more related in order to record the signals, for which we are going to require some of the electrodes. So we just can't use any sort of electrodes because it is going to be a human body. It has to be compatible, and therefore we are going to learn a list of electrodes, a number of electrodes here. And also with the advent of technology, we are having micro electrodes and biosensors. So this is slightly onto a research topic, but these are some of the electrodes which are really used in the hospitals or for the medical care. The next one is going to be introduction to diagnostic instruments. So instruments here could be classified into majorly two types, that is diagnostic instruments and therapeutic instruments. That is, when we are working with patients, one thing is you need to understand what is the problem, so we go for the diagnostic instruments. The second one is about the treatment for the patient, so we need some of the therapeutic instruments. So very well, people have been knowing about we go in for blood samples, that is, we want to find out what is the blood content, and we go for x-rays. So more commonly these are being used in the hospitals, and these type of instruments which is used in order to diagnose a patient with what is the problem. So such kind of instruments are called as diagnostic instruments. Now under diagnostic instruments, it could be patient monitoring, that is a complete monitoring of the patient, where it can be in any ICU, that is a bedside patient monitor, where the vitals of the patient have to be continuously monitored, or it could be anything like the X-ray unit, it could be a CT, that is computed tomography, or it could be a MRI machine, or it could be as simple as a blood cell counter where the pathology departments are going to use. All these are categorized as diagnostic instruments. So we are going to have a gist of all these things, that is which are the different types of diagnostic instruments, how they are used, and where they are going to be used. So these are more commonly used type of instruments for the diagnosis are going to be discussed in this particular topic. The next one is about the therapeutic instruments. So therapeutic instruments are the one which are used for therapy. That means a person, here the best example which I could tell you is about the cardiac pacemakers. People, you might be knowing amongst your relatives or friends or neighbors who have been implanted with cardiac pacemakers. That is when the sinoatrial node of the heart stops functioning, or it stops giving impulses to the heart. Then we put a artificial pacemaker in its place, so that it is going to give the signals to the rest of the part of the heart. And by doing this, there has been an enhancement not only in the lifespan of the patient, but also the lifestyle of the patient. That is, he or she can live life contently, and with along with this artificial pacemaker. So for this, there has been a lot of work which has been done. So we might have started with very preliminary batteries here, and then advanced batteries, lithium batteries have been used. So a lot of advancement has taken place. Similarly, we are going to study about other therapeutic instruments which can be used for physiotherapy. So there can be something like ultrasonic therapy units, or it could be a shortwave diathermy unit. It could be a hemodialysis machine where the kidneys function has been lost and the person is on dialysis. You might have heard of patients who are there on dialysis for the past 15 to 20 years. So ventilator, another type of life-saving instrument, again a therapeutic instrument. So we are going to learn about all these therapeutic instruments which are going to be life-saving for the patient. So categorization between the instruments was like diagnostic and therapeutic. Apart from that, we have prosthetics, which are just implants where the patient or the person who has been amputated, or there is any loss of a part of the body, then they are going to be attached with prosthesis. So all these three parts are going to be integrated into this particular subject. Along with that, we have one other flavor which is given here, that is AI for healthcare. With the advent of technology and integration of AI everywhere across any of the courses, AI is there in every domain, and similarly AI is there in healthcare as well. And in this, we are focusing on wearable devices for patients who require continuous monitoring, personalized medicine, surgical assistance. So AI you can integrate everywhere. So this is the last topic which has been introduced into this particular subject. And this is the overview of the subject, and the analysis, the assessment part which we are going to have. So we have an internal of 40 marks, and the end semester exam will be of 60 marks. Okay, these are some of the reference and the textbooks which I have mentioned. Now, the students who have opted for this particular subject, we had an internal assessment of 40 marks, and we also had the internal assessment based on the projects which the students had performed. That is the complete methodology which they had established. So there, since PCE is in tie-up with MGM Kamote, so we have some of the problem statements which have been given by the doctors, and the students can work on these particular problem statements and come up with certain solutions, or they can have multiple solutions. We can optimize the solution and start working with these. So these are real-time projects which the doctors are really facing, and they come up with these problem statements, and we can work with the statements which they have given, because we can give them some technological assistance. Then careers and opportunities. Careers and opportunities, there are a number of careers and opportunities available. There are internships which are available in almost all the hospitals. Biomedical engineering department is one of the important department in any of the super specialty or multi-specialty hospital. It is a must, because there has to be an engineer who is going to take care of all these instruments, be it an ophthalmology department, a dental department, it can be an orthopedic, or it could be radiology, or it can be any other department. It can be a pathology department also. There are a number of instruments which are used, and there has to be an engineer who has to take care of these instruments, be it the servicing, maintenance, or even replacement, etc. So it has to be an engineer. This is at the hospital level. There are other companies like Siemens, Philips, L&T. There are a number of companies which are offering these kinds of jobs where you can become a biomedical engineer who is going to actually do these kinds of instruments, who is going to be a part in making these kinds of life-saving instruments. uh, Opportunities are there in India as well as abroad. The other opportunity is that you can go for higher studies. This being a domain, interdisciplinary domain, it has got a number of avenues. You can further go in for your masters, you can go in for your PhD and postdoctoral levels also. So you have a number of opportunities available in biomedical instrumentation as
Sorry
well
to
as,
interrupt you, ma'am. Students, we are extremely sorry. You need to rejoin after this presentation. Okay?
yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. You need to finish in less than 15
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah, definitely. So these are the career opportunities which are available, and there are good number of internships also available, because this being a life-saving opportunity, even during Corona or pandemic period, these were the people who were on top, and they never lost their jobs probably. So it's going to be a good career, good opportunities available here. So if you have anything, I think we'll have to rejoin, and then we can go for question answer session. Otherwise, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Just I would like to add one thing. See, you have, you can understand there are two specializations related to bioengineering. One is more focused on introduction and biomechanics, and bioinstrumentation would be more focused on instrumentation and medical image processing. So you choose your specialization as per your interest. So moving ahead, uh, yeah, moving ahead with our next orientation, we will be having the orientation by Dr. Divya Padmanabhan on the subject vehicle safety under the specialization of safety. Over to you, Divya ma'am. Divya ma'am.
Morning. A very good morning to everyone who has joined in today. I hope I am audible and the video is also clear.
Yes, ma'am.
So, dear students, today we are here to look at the importance of this particular subject, which is being offered as an institute level optional course. The name of the subject is vehicle safety, and this is the first course which is being offered under the specialization of safety. So, why do we have to even look at this, vehicle safety? I'm sure this is a scene which all of you identify very well. India is one of the busiest roads. No, the maximum traffic, if at all you get to see, it would be on the Indian roads. And to top it with that, the Indian automotive industry has also scaled up and now reached position 3 in the world. So, what is expected from this? We are expected to see still more traffic, still more vehicles on the road. But have you ever thought of how safe are we even when we are in a vehicle? Are we good with our driving skills? Are the vehicles safe enough? Are the roads constructed safe enough for the vehicles to be plying on it? So all these aspects is what this course of vehicle safety will be dealing with. It is about our own skills, how to be better with our driving skills. It is a lot to do with what all features vehicles should have to ensure safety for the passengers. It is also with respect to how our roads or the footpaths conditions should be. Is it safe for the pedestrian and likewise. Okay, so the Indian road network, it spans over 5 million kilometers, and even this stretch I would put it as this is also going to increase in the years to come. So with this rapid increase in the number of cars and the traffic, the roads are congested, and that is what puts safety to our perspective. It is important at this juncture of time when we see increasing traffic, increasing number of vehicles on the road. It becomes important to address the issue of safety, road safety as well as vehicle safety. And I'm sure many of you students who are in this orientation, you may be driving or riding. So let me tell you that distracted driving happens to be one factor which is a, which is responsible for vehicle collisions. But that does not mean that there are other conditions also. So around 30% of the accidents which happen can be attributed to distracted driving. But nevertheless, there are other important things which we need to look into. See now since the time that we have started this orientation around 10:30, and now here we are close to 11:30, so many accidents have happened all over the world and very much here in India as well. Those are some statistics which I present, and I'm sure all of you can read that every 60 minutes, 16 people die in a motor vehicle crash. Okay, so the point here is the reason to have a subject like vehicle safety is to address the safety and ensure that we prevent accidents, we minimize accidents. Why? The reason is the number of people dying by accidents is huge, and year by year in India, globally, wherever you look at, year by year the number is growing. And the seriousness of this part is that the people who die by accidents, typically, the people who die by accidents, they are very much in the age group which we categorize as the productive age group. Okay, most of the people who meet with accidents and die, they are in the productive age group. When I say, it means they are in their youth. So, what happens with accidents? There are lots of things, there are a lot of implications of an accident. Financial impact is huge. And let me put it this way, the impact of an accident, a vehicular accident, there are socio-economic impacts too. There are socio-economic losses as well. Social losses, definitely. See, the death of a person is definitely a big and irreparable loss. But along with that irreparable loss, there comes a lot of financial losses to the family, to the institute, to the company, to the society, to the nation as a whole. Okay, and this is one of the statistics which I present there. The total socio-economic cost due to road traffic accidents in India is estimated to be anywhere between 1.17 lakh crores to 2.91 lakh crores, which is a huge amount, which is almost 0.5 to 1.35% of the GDP of the nation. So just realize that this is a huge loss. Now, the reason why we need to look into this vehicle safety is that this loss, I mean, accidents are something which can be prevented. Yes, by proactive means, we can prevent accidents. In fact, WHO, I don't know if you're familiar with this or not, but WHO, the World Health Organization, they have defined 17 sustainability development goals. They go by the name of SDG, 17 sustainability development goals. And the list of 17 is exhaustive. In fact, that entire thing can become one course. So in the 17, in the list of 17, WHO aspires to meet those 17 goals by the year 2030. And in that, a priority sector was addressing road safety. The agenda, I mean, under this sustainable development goals set by the WHO, by the year 2020, they had said that our aim should be to reduce accidents, to prevent lives from being, dying due to accident. I mean, this entire campaign was named as Save Lives. Save Lives was primarily addressing vehicle safety, road safety, and this was a campaign from WHO and all the signatories of this particular, you know, they were mandated to follow certain minimum rules with respect to their manufacturing of automobiles. Like every country which is making automobiles should have a minimum list of things which safeguard the safety of a passenger. So by 2020, they had aimed to reduce accidental deaths and injuries to 50%, but it has still not happened. And very close here in India itself, we have an ambitious goal of 2030. The name is the campaign is named as zero, no, zero lives, in the sense we should reach to a condition that there should be no deaths happening because of an accident. Okay, again I would say it is a very ambitious goal, but more people, if they realize the importance of all this together, it is not just one aspect. It is related to vehicles, the features which are present in the vehicles, it is related to the road conditions, and it is also related to our driving awareness. So coming to the course contents, again, I'm not going to deal with it in detail, but quickly I'll just look into, I will take you through what the course is going to cover. We will start off with, I mean, in this particular course, the Save Lives campaign, we will focus on it and we'll start off this course with that. And closer here in India, we have now been following the BNV SAP, okay, the Bharat New Vehicle Safety Assessment Program. It's also known as Bharat NCAP. Now, this is a protocol which sets standards for all vehicle manufacturers in terms of what are the minimum features they have to put in the vehicles, in the four wheelers, so that the passengers can be saved in the event of an accident. Okay, I'm sure all of you know that there are rules like you have to be wearing your seat belt when you are in a four wheeler, or you have to be wearing your helmet when you are on a two wheeler. So these are all mandatory things, but again there have been problems with this reinforcement. Nevertheless, I would put it that year by year our traffic rules are becoming stringent, and now we see more people following these rules. In fact, vehicles themselves have systems that keep warning if you're not wearing your seat belt, and it gives you a warning, so it becomes irritative, and at a point, people, I mean the drivers, the passengers, are forced to wear it. Not just the seat belt, there are many other features also which now have been mandated by the regulators in India, and one such feature is the no the airbags. 20 years back, if you saw a four-wheeler, it would not have an airbag. You would have an option. You want an airbag or you don't want. And if you prefer to have an airbag, the purpose is safety, purely safety, right? And if you prefer to have an airbag, it would always come with a price, an additional price. Whereas now, under the new regulation, that is BNV SAP, it is mandatory that every car manufacturer provides seat belts and airbags, and additionally also a few features which primarily address vehicle safety. I'm sure all of you have heard about car ratings and the new cars which are there on the road. The system of car rating is nothing but it is giving us, customers, an indication of how safe a car is. Okay, so all those car, the ratings have been provided based on how a particular car performed when it was being subjected to various testing, crash testing particularly. Okay. So all these things we would be looking into in this particular subject. What are crashes, and how, what is the need to recreate or simulate crashes in order to understand the entire system of a vehicle and a vehicle passenger vehicle driver correlation. And these are also certain things that we would be talking about, the different types of tests which are mandatory for a car to pass the safety test. That also we would look into in this particular course. Then there are certain things, I mean, like, you see trucks or huge containers on the road, and I don't know how many of you noticed, but there's a large gap between the road and the vehicle body. So that space becomes a danger spot many a times, and many smaller vehicles have a tendency to get into it, underneath it, and that again becomes a big mishap. So, in order to avoid such instances, there are several devices which have now come into existence. So, introduction to such devices and how the presence of those devices in large vehicles can again contribute to prevent accidents is something that we would also look into. We also would be covering certain things about how, if an accident has happened, how do we analyze an accident and ensure that such an accident is not repeated. So there's a lot of physics behind it, the road conditions, the speed of the vehicle pre-crash, at the time of the crash, and what was the distance it moved. There's a lot of physics involved. So it is a very interesting topic, really speaking, and this is also a part of the syllabus. We will also be taking you through the different systems which are present in vehicles, systems which are particularly meant to address the safety of the vehicle. Systems which help in either preventing an accident, or systems that activate when an accident happens. So either ways, both of them are finally trying to protect the persons involved in an accident. So that's also something that we would look into. And I think that's it about the course. If any of you has got any more queries about what all things we would be looking at, so you can come and meet me personally, or you can drop a mail. Either way, it's fine. So the primary goal of vehicle safety, it is to save lives. Again, I repeat, save lives, because it is very, very clear. Every government statistics, if you look at the number of people who die by accident, they are all in the age group which we classify as youth or middle age. Okay, now that's an age group which has lot many more things to achieve in life. So let us attempt to save lives which are precious, and also save money, because I had mentioned earlier, any accident comes with huge losses, financial, economic, social, and psychological as well. Okay, so save lives and save money. That those are the primary objectives or the primary goals of vehicle safety. So with that, I end my orientation. And again, I repeat, anyone has any queries, you can come and meet me. And I am available I sit in room J103 in the college. So anytime you can drop by. So thank you, Richa ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Students, if you have any queries, you can unmute and ask, or you can put your queries in the chat box. Uh, Okay, ma'am. Thank you. We will move on to the next.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, for the next orientation, we have Dr. Amay Marathe with us. So, I request Amay Marathe sir to please take over, and we will be having the orientation in the specialization of engineering design, and the subject is design of experiments. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I will give you the orientation, subject orientation, typically, that's on the subject which is called as design of experiments. Now, first thing, what comes to your mind, uh, when you talk about experiments is what? And the name of the subject is designing of experiments. So, I'll quickly take you through, what do you mean by an experiment? So what is an experiment? Why to do experiments? And then I will show you, what is there inside the curriculum. What are the course objectives? What are the course outcomes and the curriculum? Okay. So let us ask ourselves one question. What is an experiment? So I'll give you a hint. Is tossing a coin an experiment according to you? The answers can be yes, the answers can be no. So what do you think? As an engineer, what is the correct answer? Is tossing a coin an experiment? Okay. Okay, so those of you who say yes, okay, we typically don't call it as an experiment. Okay, it is a chance. Okay, tossing a coin, it can either be a head or a tail. Then what is an experiment? So typically, what do you mean? What we call it as an experiment is we test or we perform a series of tests in which we make purposeful changes to the input variable of the system to observe and identify its effect on the output response. Okay, that is what do we call it as an experiment in the technical terms. Okay, so if you look at the same question which I asked you earlier about the coin, can we make any changes to the input variable? No, we cannot. Correct. And we cannot observe the effect on the output variable as well. So typically that is why what do we call, or tossing a coin typically, okay, we don't categorize it as an experiment. And from technical viewpoint, why do we require experiments? Because it plays a very important role in technology commercialization and product realization activities, like when you design a product or you formulate something. Okay, say for example, it can be a drug development formula, it can be a method in which you can do an experiment, it can be a method in which you can do the manufacturing. Now say for example, if you want to manufacture a part, okay, what should be the speed, feed, depth of cut? I'm just telling you because you will understand. You have performed that on lathe machines in your first year. Okay, definitely the speed, the depth of cut will have the effect on the manufactured part. So what should how should we keep the speed? What should be the speed? So we want answers to such questions. And when we design a new product, when we define the manufacturing process, okay, we require answers to these questions. And we cannot do that in the conventional way. What is the conventional way of doing experiments? Anyone? The conventional approaches, we can go on changing one variable at a time. Okay, so say for example, I will let us take an example of a manufacturing a part on a lathe. So if I'm trying to manufacture that part, what I will do, I will change the speed of the the machine first. I will observe how the part has been manufactured. Then I will change the depth of cut. Okay, I will observe. So that is going to take a lot of time. And when we are in this world where we require products to be manufactured fast, and we want to optimize the process, we want to improve the process, that is when the design of experiments actually come into picture. So why do we do experiments? So typically it is the statistical method for systematically investigating the input output relationship to achieve, or we want to identify some important design variable, we want to optimize the product or processes, and we want to achieve the robust performance. Okay, it is a key technology in product and process development. It is used in various engineering industries like chemical, manufacturing, you name it, and we are using DOE in that. Typically, it is used to observe the cause and effect relationship with minimum number of experiments. That is what is important. So we don't want to follow the standard approach where I go on performing the experiment by changing one variable at a time, because typically we don't have a single variable. Okay, so it is definitely better than observing one variable at a time. I can also give you a different example of a PCB manufacturing. Now, if you want to do PCB manufacturing, there are so many factors which are in your control. There are so many factors which are not in your control. Now, if I want to observe the relationship of those, what happens if, what is the impact of, say, for example, factor 1 on how the PCB is manufactured. So how am I going to do that? And that is what is there, in this particular subject. So how to systematically and scientifically design the experiments is, what we will do in this. So these are some typical 5 steps which we follow in designing of an experiment. So, we will prepare the design. So first we will design it. We will collect the data. We will analyze the data. Okay. From the data, we will derive some conclusions, and then we will formulate some recommendations as the result of the experiments, again to improve the process, to optimize the process, okay, and to see the effect of one variable on the example. Now let me take one simple example of engine performance and emission. Now, if I have to do it using response surface methodology, now this is one methodology which we will be studying in the subject. Okay, so if you see, if you look at this particular first part which is defined, okay, there are some input parameters which is load, speed, and fuel blend, and there are some responses: power, torque, brake specific fuel consumption, and the emissions. Now if I have to observe the effect of load on power, if I have to observe the effect of load on torque, if I have to observe the effect of load on emissions, I cannot do it one process at a time or one parameter at a time. Okay. Now using or designing an experiment in a particular way, okay, there are different methods to do that. I will design the experiment. I will select the design. So if you see, these are my input factors. These are my response factors. I have to see the impact of input factors on the output factors. I have different methods. Okay. I will design the experiment, I will run the experiment, and then I will optimize the process. Okay. How to do that is, what we will learn through the course. So this is the content which we will cover in the course. So typically, we will start with, very simple introduction. So why do we do experiment? What are the components of the experiment? We will go into some classification of DOEs, different softwares which we can use. We cannot do it by hand. Okay. And then what are the different types of experimental design? That is what you will study in module 1. Module 2 will be all about, some basics of statistics. If you have forgotten that, okay, if you have learned somewhere in, the course of the data or R software, if you have studied basic statistics, well and good. But if not, we will cover some basic statistics like normal distribution, sampling distribution, estimation. Then we will go towards hypothesis testing. And then, we will determine the sample size. We will study what is analysis of variance. Okay. What is a two-way ANOVA, multi-way ANOVA, and how do you determine the sample size for the ANOVA. Then, we will study the methods. So if you go back to this, this example, you see, we will run the experiment and we will select the method. So that is what is there in, module number 3. So regression, what is a multiple linear regression? Okay. How do we use it to test the hypothesis? Okay. How can we use the regression approach to ANOVA? And then, these are different experimental designs. So we have different experimental design. There is a factorial design, there is a full factorial design, 2-level factorial design, fractional factorial design, so on and so forth. So we will study them one by one. And then, just to analyze its effect, we will use the response surface methodology, which is module number 5. Here, what we will do is whatever data, we will generate from the experiments, we will use the response surface methodology and we will try to fit some models. Okay, so if you see response surface methodology, first order model, we will try to fit the experimental design by using the response surfaces. Again, all this is done by the software. Okay, we just have to understand, analyze, and as an engineer we should be able to give our say on that. Okay, and then if you want to really go for robust design, so we have something which is called as a Taguchi approach. What he has mentioned in its approach, how can we achieve the robust design. Now, what do you mean by robust design is typically, say for example, if there is any input variable, it should not hamper the final output. Okay, a very simple example: you fill the fuel from different petrol pumps in your vehicle. Okay, have you observed that, say for example, if you fill the fuel from Panvel, okay, you might get a different range. Okay, or if you fill it from a different fuel station, you might get a different range. So in that particular way, how we can achieve the robust design. So this subject, though it is mathematical, but we will use real life examples to understand how all these processes are done. Okay, so in a very simple way, the internal assessment is of 40 marks. The first test will be a simple class test. The second test will be, as I said, it will be a case study on a particular subject. So it can be on a PCB design, it can be on software development, it can be on automobile case study, it can be on autonomous vehicle, etc., etc. So everywhere you go to any industry, we use design of experiments. Okay, and the end semester examination is of 60 marks. So that is all what is there in this particular subject. I hope I was clear enough. And if there are any questions, please put it in the chat box. I will be more than happy to answer it. So I will stop sharing my screen. Thank you.
Sir, I would request you to please continue for our second course, that is cooking and nutrition. I will share the syllabus.
Thank you. Yeah, so I will be continuing with the cooking and nutrition. So if at all, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box for design of experiments. Now this particular subject, now what do you feel, why this subject is introduced in the curriculum, cooking and nutrition? Anyone? Maybe you will have so many answers to your coming to your mind, but then I'm sure you all know that there is a relation between food, health, and mind, correct? So typically, this course will take you through the journey of, what do you mean by a nutrition, to what is a typical safety aspects, which we all have to take care of when we cook the food, and all of that. So maybe can we just go down? Can we come to module number 1? So if you see, the module number 1 will typically talk about the nutritional values or nutritional terms, which we might not be aware of. Okay, so what are proteins? What are fats, vitamins, different types, and what are its sources, and what does it what are its effect on the human body and mind. Okay, then when we start from the nutritional terms, then we will go to the second module, which is kitchen equipment and kitchen planning. So typically you see in the restaurants, which equipment to choose from to cook what food is also very important. Okay, so we will be understanding the selection of the kitchen equipment. Okay, and then how do we organize the cooking area, the selection of the work surfaces, etc., etc., the lighting, ventilation, we'll try to understand its effect. Okay, then how do you plan the meal for different age groups? Okay, so say for example, if some people are allergic to certain foods, there are some people who are lactose intolerant. So for them, what are the the choices, what are the dietary choices? Okay, that is what we will study in module number 3. Then how can you do strategic cooking? Okay, so what are the most effective way of cooking, baking, maybe what are the nutritional values which you gain when you cook in a microwave oven? How do you poach the egg? What is the use of the slow cooker, etc., etc. Okay, and what are its sensory effect of the food on the human body? So flavor, taste, texture, all that. So that is what we will study in module number 4. Then the convenience food and the proportion. Proportion is very, very important. What are the different type of additives which you can add to the food? What are the different packaging materials? What are the different bakery products? The different types of types of pastries which are available, the sauces, etc. and etc. Okay, and then at the end, as I said, we started from the nutritional value, and the last module is all about how can you preserve the food in a particular way in a kitchen. And then if at all, if you come across any accident, what are the first aid methods which we have to use while cooking the food? Okay, so that is what we have in this particular subject. And the final examination of this subject, I'm sure, because if you look at the content, you cannot do the theory writing and all. It is all practical based, right? So typically the final examination of this particular subject, what I have seen in last couple of years, is it's a practical scenario which is given to you. Okay, you are told to make a particular a product or an item or a food menu, and then there will be some judges who will come and taste the food based on the nutritional value and based on what is the challenge which is given to you, and that is how you will be evaluated. Okay, so please understand that cooking and nutrition, though we are from technical background, it involves a lot of technicalities, and understanding that is very, very important to have a positive effect on the mind. Okay, and because whatever lifestyle we are living now, it is very important to have the nutrients. So cooking and nutrition, I am sure you understand the importance of this subject. And again, if you have any queries related to the subject, please route it to me, or you can also come and meet me. I also sit in J103. Okay, and you can contact me for any queries related to either design of experiments or cooking and nutrition. That's it from my side. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Now, after this, we will be having the orientation by Dr. Tusharika Banerjee for the course E-commerce and E-business under the specialization Business Management.
Thank you, Risha ma'am. I think only 5 minutes are remaining. So shall I start or they rejoin? How is it, ma'am?
Yeah, ma'am, 5 minutes are remaining.
What should we do?
Ame sir, shall I think the video will not be completed. I think we should wait and rejoin.
We should end it and then start another meeting. What?
Oh, okay. I think we can end it.
Yeah, in the meantime, let us ask students if they have any queries or questions.
Yeah, students, if you have any queries and any questions related to any subjects and if the subject experts are here, you can please unmute and ask.
Otherwise, I can just talk because only 4 minutes are remaining.
Yeah,
So I'll get slightly 2-3 minutes more. That's all. I just don't want to break the link once I start. That is why I'm not sharing the screen.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
So, hello all of you. I am Dr. Tusharika Banerjee. I am a small entrepreneur also, and I have a core technical background. And having said that, I want you to understand the kind of credits what I have acquired by going ahead with choices which were not very technical. And by the time we end up this presentation, after this formal presentation ends on e-business and e-commerce, I will be showing you some credits which have come to me. And it is not necessary that you have to belong to a particular branch of engineering to know certain areas, but the credits can come to you if you are just with the trend and you understand the things. So having said that, I just want to ask everybody, and please feel free to answer also, how many of us, including me also, How many of us have thought as child, as teenagers, as college students now, few who have passed out the college, few of your friends said, you know, this is something which really I want to sell. I want to make a shop, maybe a cake shop, maybe a gadget shop, maybe a jewelry shop, maybe a sports accessory shop. I want to have a collection, and on the top of it, I'm able to find out something which is at a much lower cost, and the world is not aware. But I'm aware that, you know, this is the cost at which it's coming, and this is the sourcing what I have done. And if you look at the shops, this is the way they are selling. How many of us have thought it as a child, as a grown up adult? पेन हो गया, पेंसिल हो गया, बुक्स हो गए, कुछ भी, रोजेस हो गए, फ्लावर्स हो गए, गिफ्ट्स हो गए. Lot of us, all of us have thought about this particular thing once, at least in our lifetimes. हमारा एक शॉप होगा, हम कुछ सेल करना चाहते हैं. So there's a technical, yeah, lot of us, not only bakery, you know, it's beyond our technical understanding also. And as innovators, I think in each branch of engineering, whether it is mechanical, automobile, electrical, which means electronics and telecommunication, and other branches as well, civil, there is always a hidden, I would say, a hidden child which wants to do that, have their own things put up and want to also make others a part of your own likings. So e-business and e-commerce is going to tell you that skill. It is going to educate you. Educating self is very important. Anyone who is not educating self and glamorizing the same part is not correct. You need to understand that once you educate yourself, you are straight away on the highway. You want to just know the checkpoints, that this is what we have to do, and you can go much faster. So e-business, e-commerce is going to give you that skill for your own innovations. There are two ways to make money. No, one is a dealership. You buy something and you sell it at a lower cost. And second is you innovate something which involves a lot of time, and maybe you make it at a particular cost. Maybe you make it for 100 rupees and you want to sell it at 1000 rupees. So it should be your own innovation to have that kind of profit margin. But if you're doing a dealership, you'll have to be in the competitive market, understand that there has to be a proper sourcing and there has to be a proper market where you're putting it. So electronic commerce and electronic business is a must field for all of us. या तो हम अपना करें, या तो कल जब हमारी जॉब होगी तो हमारा ओनर हमसे एक्सपेक्ट करेगा, या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हमसे एक्सपेक्ट करेगा कि हम उनको क्रेडेंशियल्स ला करके दें, हम उसको पैसा ला के दें. So till you educate yourself on electronic business and electronic commerce, it will be very difficult for you. So Amazon became the richest. It is still the richest. And we know the success story it had in e-business and e-commerce. उसमें तो कुछ दो वोट नहीं है. But also we need to understand the kind of money it can give you in a market like India. We are the third largest economy. We are the largest in number. Anybody who is trying to segment and enter the Indian market is not able to.
अच्छा वो आ जाए, कल नहीं आती तो पानी नहीं था बिल्डिंग.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. You can
Yeah.
share your
Yeah,
screen, ma'am.
yeah. Minimize this. Okay. So I will try to take on the technical contents now. So this is e-commerce and e-business, the commercials. Everyone has joined, or should I wait for 2 minutes? How is it? They're still joining. We'll wait for just 2 minutes, because...
Ma'am, you can continue, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay, so electronic commercials and electronic business are must field for all of us, whichever domain we belong to. There will always be a need. There is going to be a huge need that we are electronically making numbers, commercializing and interacting electronic business. So this is SEM 5 and it will be in SEM 6, followed by business analytics. So some part of this analytics, which the pioneers in e-business and e-commerce did, that is Amazon and Flipkart, some part, some baby part is going to be studied, it's going to be covered in unit number 2, where we will see that how they were doing this analytics earlier. And that will be taken as a case study. And this particular subject will be taken up as a business analytics in semester 6. So my name is Dr. Tusharika Sinha Banerjee. I belong to Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, a core technical degree I have. And I was too much into electrical and electronics and propagation and things like that up till 4 years back, when I realized that I will go on making things until I know that I am going to put my own things in the market. I am not going to be credited the way I should be, and somebody else is going to make money out of and credits out of my own work. So I started studying, and I started attending, and I started practicing e-commerce and e-business. So what is the objective of this particular subject? Why we are reading this? Of course, we want to understand that what are the factors which are needed to grow successfully in e-commerce. Electronic commerce के लिए कौन-कौन से factors हैं, वो सारे कुछ आप list कर पाएंगे after you know the e-commerce and e-business syllabus in detail. You are going to identify the advantages and disadvantages of technology, in the sense that as if you look at e-business and e-commerce, it is a internet governed entity. And there is always a server and client model which is existing. Whenever two computers are communicating, there is always a server and there is always a client. There is always a question and there is always an answer, the way we are doing right now. So two computers, two machines also run on that client and server model. So when this client and server model are communicating, depending on the kind of feature which you want, आपका क्लाइंट टू क्लाइंट इंटरेक्शन चल रहा है, बिजनेस टू क्लाइंट चल रहा है, बिजनेस टू बिजनेस चल रहा है, गवर्नमेंट टू क्लाइंट चल रहा है, गवर्नमेंट टू बिजनेस चल रहा है, गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट चल रहा है, you have to understand the advantages and disadvantages in the sense of taxation, in the sense of credits which you will be ultimately paying. So that is going to come once you educate yourself in the field of e-business and e-commerce. You will be able to analyze the features, you'll be able to appreciate many facts. Some of them are that you can have an invisible shop of your own, choose to have the shop at your own house, or you can choose to have it at some other place, and understand the things and electronically do things and start selling. So you are going to analyze the features, what is going to exist in the current market, and with your own innovations involved. After you have the technical understanding, you're going to propose your own future directions, that this is the way I want to do it. I don't want it this way. AI and ML is nobody's area. The more you practice, the companies will pay you more. So you're going to propose your own ways, that this is the way I want to do it. But for that, you have to first learn. It's like, you want to run, you want to do trekking. First, you have to learn how to walk. So once you learn how to walk, once you learn how to know the subject, you will be able to propose your own innovations and understand, oh, this I can do at a lesser taxation, or this I can do at a lesser risk. So these are the main course objectives that we are looking at when we are learning this particular subject. The course outcomes, you will be able to really appreciate that, our forefathers, or I would say the generations before us, they had to have an offline shop. They had to bear the deposit money. They had to take up that pain. Now today, you can have an invisible shop, which I'm saying. You can have your own things, you can have your own choices at a much greater space. And you are somebody who have a technological background, who have a technical mind, much faster for all of us, because we were not intended to study this anytime before 5 or 7 years. We never tried it. But once engineers will start trying this thing, there will be a lot of things which is going to come to you. Okay, so you are going to understand that you can do business anywhere. एनीवेयर मतलब कहीं भी आप बैठ करके यहाँ से बिजनेस कर सकते हैं. इसलिए ऑफलाइन वालों का इतना प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है अभी, बिकॉज बेचारे दे आर नॉट टेक्नोलॉजिकली अपग्रेडेड, सो दे आर रिलक्टेंट. तो जो शॉपकीपर्स पहले थे 1917 80s में और 90s में भी, नाउ दे आर दे हैव स्टार्टेड अंडरस्टैंडिंग द टेक्नोलॉजिकल challenges what they are facing. You are going to define and differentiate various types of e-commerce, because till you do that, till you understand कि कौन सा तरह का कमर्शियल हो रहा है, तब तक तो आप टेक्नोलॉजी या तब तक तो आप अपने फीचर्स उसमें इनकॉर्पोरेट नहीं कर पाएंगे, है ना. जैसे मैंने आपको नाम लिया, बिजनेस टू बिजनेस, बिजनेस टू कंज्यूमर, कंज्यूमर टू कंज्यूमर, गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट, ऐसे करके आपके 6 तरह के ई कॉमर्स है और डिफरेंट तरह के प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं. तो जब तक आपको वो आइडिया नहीं लगेगा, आप नहीं कर पाएंगे. और आपने जब एक बार सीख लिया सब्जेक्ट में, इट विल बी वेरी इजी फॉर यू. यूल जस्ट से ओ अच्छा, दिस इज बिजनेस टू बिजनेस, तो इसमें सीधा सीधा ये यूज करना है, एंड यू आर गोइंग टू गेट द बिजनेस हैपनिंग. इट विल बी वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड द थिंग्स फास्टर. तो कोई जो कर रहा है ऑलरेडी और जिसने अपने आप को एजुकेट नहीं किया है, उसने अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस से खुद को एजुकेट कर लिया है. आप 2 महीने में खुद को एजुकेट कर पाएंगे. यू आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंट ई बिजनेस स्ट्रैटेजीज. व्हाई वी वांट टू डू दैट? स्ट्रैटेजीज क्यों चाहिए हमको? हमने प्लानिंग कर लिया, ऐसा होगा, ऐसा होगा, ऐसे पैसे बनेंगे, ऐसे प्रोडक्ट सेल होगा. वी हैव डन दैट. बट till you have a strategy, till you know the way to execute, a strategy is the way to execute your plan. So you are going to have some strategies based on the things which are already running on the e-business and e-commerce platforms. Okay. And you're going to take it forward. So you will be able to also understand that how you will be able to execute your plan. You will be able to have the e-business strategies with you. Okay, so this is the examination scheme. We have IA1 40 marks, IA2 40 marks, average is 40 marks, and NSEM exam is 60 marks. So IA2 mein we educate each other, matlab students and myself, we interact, and whosoever will be the person who will be taking this e-business and e-commerce for all of you will be telling you. And you will be also telling, you will be designing your own e-business, e-commerce platforms. You will be living up your dream, what you had as a child. मैं पेड़े बेचूं, मैं हैंकी बेचूं, मैं फ्लावर्स बेचूं, मैं गैजेट्स बेचूं, मैं स्पोर्ट्स अटायर बेचूं. तो वो सारा कुछ आप बनाइए और आप उसके लिए मार्क्स भी लेके जाइए IA2 में. IA1 में we will study the theoretical aspects in detail. So I will take you to the syllabus and make you understand that syllabus is divided into 2 parts. First is Unit 1, Unit 3 and Unit 5. Unit 1, 2 and Unit 5. Unit 1, 2 and Unit 5, they are the theoretical parts of your subject. Okay, so Unit 1 is going to be very extensive like any other subject. You will talk in detail. You will be studying in detail about the different meanings of e-commerce system and what are the types, what is the difference. You will just get the better space to get into the subject more deeply. The second part of this particular unit is going to talk about the technical aspects, because when you will want to expand your domain in e-business and e-commerce, you need to understand that what's exactly going on the backside. You are just not one person who is doing the application. If you do the application with an understanding, having a technical mind, you will be able to do much better. So the second part is going to talk about the client server technology, and the same thing will be continued. This client server technology, 2-tier and 3-tier, will be continued in unit number 3 also. Unit number 2, you will be talking about the business strategies, what are needed for e-commerce. So why it has to be simple, why and how it can be mobile responsive. So simple photos, simple illustrations we will see. Some discussions we will do on SEOs and different things which are existing today. So in a 600 rupees today, you are able to get beautiful AI. So you don't need to buy different kinds of things for different features. एक particular platform पे आपको आज सब मिल जाता है. So all that we will be seeing here. And in the second part of this particular subject, you will be talking about the Flipkart and Amazon, what they did. They did something when nobody could think about it. Few people were tagging such thoughts of selling something online as not so normal, the way it always happens. but Flipkart and Amazon ultimately made it. So we will see about those 23 parameters, what they studied, what is the age group, what is the kind of credits, what people are looking forward to. All that we will be seeing in the case study. Competitive edge, somebody doing a sourcing at 60 paise, you doing a sourcing at 80 paise, and selling it in the same market, you are already at a loss. So you have to understand the supply and demand market using the e-business and e-commerce, which is very easy. If you go offline and try to do it, हर जगह जाते नहीं रह सकते. So but e-business and e-commerce, that establishment of a competitive market, competitive edge is going to be very easy for you. Of course, you have to work hard and you have to have your own passion, but then it's going to be something which is going to be with a click. Okay, so this is unit number 2. Unit number 3, it is a slight more detail about the unit number 1, whatever we were studying कि e-commerce क्या है, e-commerce के types क्या हैं, electronic market किसको बोलते हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डेटा इंटरचेंज, जो बिल्स आपके जनरेट होते हैं, जो ट्रांजैक्शंस होते हैं, उनका कुछ आइडिया आपको होना चाहिए, नहीं तो आप इस डोमेन में बिल्कुल लॉस्ट हो जाएंगे. सो यू नीड टू हैव सम अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑन द टर्मिनोलॉजीज. ओके, modeling, how you can do, what are the different pins which you should put and make a boundary. So modeling of the e-commerce system, आपका revenue model है, revenue model नहीं है, आपका customer base कैसे बढ़ाना है. So modeling of the e-commerce.
Madam,
Yeah.
हे पण घेऊन जाणं.
Yes, Swati ma'am.
नहीं, I think it was by mistake, ma'am. Please continue.
Okay. So, and the unit number 1 जो है ना, उसका कंटिन्यूएशन व्हाट आई टोल्ड यू कि 3 टायर कंपोनेंट मॉडल है, वो हम थोड़ा डिटेल में यहाँ पे देखेंगे क्योंकि हम मॉडलिंग कर रहे हैं, तो उसको यहाँ पे कंटिन्यू करेंगे. ठीक है. एंड द अदर थिंग्स, डेटा मॉडल, वेब मॉडलिंग, इट इज नोन टू ऑल ऑफ यू. यू ऑल आर एक्सीलेंट. किसी भी ब्रांच को आप बिलोंग करें, आप इतना अच्छा बात करते हैं. यू आर बोर्न इन टेक्नोलॉजी, सो यू ऑल इंटरैक्ट एंड यू ऑल टेल मी एवरी टाइम so many things on this. So all these things are known to you. We will again see it and we'll learn more when we talk about the design of e-commerce system. Unit number 4, these are the ready-made files which are available. So you will be using these files. I don't know all these things. I really don't know. You have to tell me. And this is all, you want to do it more. Okay, you take a file, you start creating things, you say wow. And now with AI coming in, you say double wow and you want to create more. So these are the listed technologies and you have to understand that why it has to be a service oriented architecture. Service nahi denge to credit business or commercials kidhar se aayega. So it has to be a service oriented architecture. So these technologies you will be using to create IA2 to enjoy your learning and make money and make some credits out of the things what you are learning. So all these things, social plugins, payment processes, ये सब new नहीं है आपके लिए. Secure service layer encryption, hosting server, तो client server model के बाद में ये सब आपको clear होता जाएगा. All right, this is unit number 4. Unit number 5, we want to understand that I am very keen on having an e-commerce system what I have developed, and I want to develop a similar system. You want to develop, but there are certain parameters which should allow you कि आपने एक को मल्टीप्लाई करके 4 बना दिया. The other way is how you have already one system, you are powering it more. You are allowing others to cling on the existing system. So whether you want to allow the existing system to be clingable or you want the expansion will depend on the load balancing, will depend on the networking, will depend on certain parameters which are very clearly listed in your syllabus. So depending on those, that is why educating yourself is very important. So depending on those factors, you will be deciding कि आप वेब पे अपने आप को कैसे लॉन्च करते जाएंगे. How you will go on expanding or contracting. नहीं जरूरत है तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करो ना. Why you are making the things heavy on your platform. So scalability of e-commerce system. So unit 1, unit 2 and unit 5. These 3 are theory part and you need to educate yourself really well. And unit number 6, this is e-commerce implementation. You tell me what is new in this. You have studied, I mean, all of us are using website testing, website maintenance, web advertisement. सबको पता है, ये first time हम नहीं सुन रहे हैं. Copyright services, SMS alert services, you incorporate all this in IA2. Bulk email services, with one click, there is a Excel sheet which you are creating when you make that website. And with that Excel sheet, जैसे Facebook ads का एक feature आता है, उस एड फीचर को जब आपने यूज करना शुरू किया, बट यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल. हाँ, आज मन में आया तो यूज कर दिया, ऐसा नहीं होता है, बिकॉज देयर विल बी रियल पीपल हु विल बी लुकिंग अप टू यू. बाद में जब आप करने जाओगे, दे विल नॉट कम बैक टू यू. सो अंडरस्टैंड बिफोर यू आर थ्रोइंग योरसेल्फ इन द सी और ओशन. So there is a Facebook ad manager. There you click it. If you click it, you will see the whole list of people who are interested in a particular kind of product. So how you can give the bulk email, how you can give the SMS alert, how you can go on the IPR, copyright services, all these things will automatically come in your domain and you will have an understanding. Web personalization, everybody, even if you are selling the same thing, you have a different way to sell it. You know how better you can make it. आपको पता है उसमें क्या drawback है. तो आपका वेब पर्सनलाइजेशन का स्किल आप डेवलप करेंगे with this particular chapter. So techniques for gathering information, you should know about clearly how you are gathering the information about the people who are visiting, about the market, all these things you will be studying. Analysis techniques for website personalization, domain name registration, otherwise your website is not secure and nobody is going to come and trust you. Different types of web hosting, different components of web hosting, features in web hosting. All these things will be studied in the practical chapter, जो है unit number 6, unit number 4, unit number 6, unit number 3. ये सब आपके practical chapters हैं. ये सब आपको पढ़ना है और ये आपका सिलेबस है. मैं आपको एक बार दिखा देती हूँ. जो मैंने आपको बताया वही सब चीजें इसमें है. Okay, and I was wanting to show you something more, but so here, so this is recently what I have done. This is my own e-business e-commerce platform which I created, and I made my first sale. 29th of April I started, and I made my first sale on 7th May to Rajasthan. And now I have stopped because I need to understand what's happening. It was just too fast. And this is Trendsetters Hub of Tush and Tia. Tush is my name, Tia is my daughter's name. And I have started doing it and I'm really enjoying it. And after a small break, I'm going to continue doing it. And I invite all of you to start understanding no matter whatever technically you are learning, whatever you are innovating, it's time that in Indian market, all of us step in and start crediting ourselves right. So thank you very much. And thank you, Richa ma'am, for giving me this chance. And I open the platform for all of you to have the interactions either now or later.
Students, if you have any queries, thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Students, if you have any queries, you can post it in chat box, as I mentioned earlier also. By the time I hand over the session to Dr. Monica Bhagwat, ma'am is going to present the orientation for the subject Energy Audit and Management under the specialization Green Technologies. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Richa madam. I'll share my screen. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Monica Bhagwat, and today I'll be briefing you about the institute level elective course that is Energy Audit and Management. And this course comes under the specialization Green Technologies. So under this specialization Green Technologies, in semester 5, we offer the course Energy Audit and Management, and in semester 6, the Climate Informatics is offered. So both these courses belong to the specialization Green Technologies, and today I'll be focusing more on Energy Audit and Management because this is the course which you will be taking in this semester, right? So now, why this particular specialization? Before moving on to the details of the course, I would just like to bring it to your notice that why this particular specialization is brought in the curriculum and why particularly these two subjects. So under Green Technologies, you all know that everyone is nowadays talking about the sustainability, what are the critical sustainability challenges and how to deal with that, right? So there are 10 critical sustainability challenges that demand immediate attention in 2025, and two of them are energy access and affordability and climate change and its impact. So these two are included in your curriculum as a under the specialization green technologies. Now, what we mean by energy access and affordability, or why this is a sustainability challenge, in fact. So, coming to you all must know that with the growing demand for energy because of the increase in population, because of the depleting natural resources, and with the growing infrastructure and growing industries, the energy demand has gone by leap and bounds, right? So to meet this demand, the natural resources are they are continuously depleting. So we have to move from the natural resources to the renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower. And along with that, along with this transition, we have to check for the energy efficiency. So we have to use the like devices or machines which are more energy efficient, the lighting system which is more energy efficient, because the energy conservation is what will give us the energy access in future, and its affordability in future. So with this mindset, the course is designed, and with this mindset, the objectives are set for this course, right? So coming to the main objectives of the course. So the course is energy audit and management. So coming to the course objectives. So here the objectives of the course are to give the basic knowledge to the students about the current energy scenario, what is meaning by energy conservation, audit, and management. Then to inculcate in the students systematic knowledge and skill about assessing the energy efficiency of and energy auditing and energy management of various thermal and electrical equipments. And then to introduce students about the performance evaluation criteria of various electrical and thermal installations to facilitate the energy management, and to relate the data collected during performance evaluation of systems for identification of energy saving opportunities. So if you see the course objectives, basically all these objectives involve how to make the system or equipments more energy efficient. And to make it more energy efficient, we must know where are the drawbacks, what are the drawbacks, and how to improve those. So that comes under energy auditing and energy management. So these are the course objective with which the course is designed. Now, if you see all these in the course objective, there are 4 terms which are coming continuously, and I'm talking these 4 terms of continuously. That is, first is energy security, second is energy audit, third is energy management, and energy efficiency. So first, before going on in explaining the detailed curriculum, I would like to give stress on these 4 terms, that what is the meaning of energy security, and what is the meaning of energy audit and energy management, right? So coming to the first term, that is energy security. So basically, energy security is nothing but it is the ability to have an uninterrupted supply of energy at an affordable price. So that is what is the demand, and that is what going to be the demand in future, because only energy uninterrupted energy supply is not sufficient. It should be accessible to all, and it should be affordable to all population, right? So that is what is meant by energy security, that having uninterrupted power supply or an uninterrupted energy supply at an affordable price, right? And it is also about having a power system and infrastructure that is protected from physical and cyber threat. So that is what is meant by energy security, giving uninterrupted energy supply at an affordable price, and also it should be protected from physical and cyber threat. So that is the first term which we come across, energy security. Then coming to energy audit and energy management. So energy audit is defined as the verification, monitoring, and analysis of use of energy, including submission of technical report, which contains recommendations for improving energy efficiency and along with the cost benefit analysis, right? And basically, it also gives a plan to reduce the energy consumption. So that is what is meant by energy audit, that how much energy is consumed, how to reduce the energy consumption, and how to improve the energy efficiency. That is what we mean by energy audit. Then next term is the energy management. So the principles of energy management are: first, to procure all the energy needed at the lowest possible price. Second is to manage the energy use at highest energy efficiency. Third is reusing and recycling energy by cascading, that is waste heat recovery. Fourth is use the most appropriate technology. And fifth is reduce the avoidable losses. So this is what we mean by energy management. So basically, energy audit and energy management, these two terms are correlated. By doing the energy management, we can we can reduce the energy consumption, and we can also have the plan for improving the energy efficiency. That is what is meant by energy management. Now, in short, the energy management is the process of planning, controlling, and optimizing the use of energy to reduce cost, increase efficiency, and minimize environmental impact. Right? So this involves monitoring the energy consumption, identifying the opportunities to conserve energy, to implement strategies to use energy. Excuse me, just. Yeah, sorry for that interruption. So basically, energy management is identifying opportunities to conserve energy and implementing strategies to use energy more efficiently, and also evaluating results to improve energy performance. So this energy management can be performed by monitoring monthly energy bills, upgrading to energy saving light bulbs, adding insulation, and installing the reflective roof covering. Basically, how to reduce the energy consumption, and what are the techniques which can be used for reducing the energy consumption. That is what we mean by energy management. Now, now coming to the syllabus. In the syllabus, I'll just share the syllabus copy here. I hope the screen is visible, syllabus is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the syllabus has 6 modules, and the standard that is module 1. It has the first module is about the energy scenario. So in this module, you will learn about the energy needs of the growing economy, then what is meaning by energy pricing, energy sector reform, energy conservation, what is Energy Conservation Act, and all about the present energy scenario. In module 2, you will learn about energy management and audit. So what are the different types of energy audits? What is the meaning of energy management? How it is done? And how we can how we can maximize the energy efficiency, or optimize the input energy requirements, fuel and energy substitution, and all those things. In module 2, you will learn this. In module 3, you will learn about energy management and energy conservation in electrical system. So in this module, we will be talking about the electricity billing, how load management, how to do the maximum demand control, then how to use the energy efficiency measures in lighting system, lighting control, and how to do the energy conservation. What are the energy conservation opportunities in water pumps, industrial drives, induction motors, and so on. That is in module 3. Then in module 4, you will learn about energy management and energy conservation in thermal system. So here you will review all the different types of thermal loads, then energy conservation opportunities in steam distribution system, then in steam trapping, then condensate and flash steam recovery system, then what is the meaning of waste heat recovery, then how to use the insulation, then what is the HVAC system, then air conditioning system, then refrigeration system, and all these types of different types of thermal system. That is what you will learn in module 4. Module 5 is about the energy performance assessment. So here you will learn the on-site performance evaluation techniques, and you will do the case studies, which will be based on the motors and variable speed drive, pumps, HVAC system calculation, lighting systems, and so on. And in module 6, you will be learning about the energy conservation in buildings, and what do you mean by green building, what are the applications of non-conventional and renewable energy sources, and so on. So that is all about the contents of the 6 modules. The assessment is standard assessment, continuous assessment. So you will have 2 internal assessments and 1 end semester assessment. Now these 2 internal assessment will be of 40 marks and end semester assessment will be of 60 marks. So this is all about the syllabus. And now coming to the course outcomes. So after completing this curriculum or after successful completion of this course, you will be able to identify and describe the present state of energy security and its importance. Then you will be able to describe the basic principles and methodologies adopted in energy audit of any utility. Then you will be able to do the energy performance evaluation of some electrical installation as well as some thermal installations. And you will be able to identify the energy saving opportunities. Then you can analyze the data collected during performance evaluation, and you can recommend with that data, you can recommend energy saving measures. And the last one is you will be able to apply the principles of energy conservation in building design and operation. So these are the course outcomes which you will be gaining after taking up this course. Now here are some of the books and references which you will be referred for completing this course. And after taking up this course and the future outcomes or the future opportunities which you will have, that students can go for energy auditors course, which is the course offered by Bureau of Energy Efficiency India. You can see the last reference here, that is the website for Bureau of Energy Efficiency. So energy auditor course, the energy auditors are in great demand nowadays because it is a compulsory for all the industries to go for the energy audit, and with the future considering the future energy consumption. So so after taking up this course, you will be able to complete, you will be able to do the energy auditors course offered by Bureau of Energy Efficiency. And it's very important for every human being to know how to save the energy, how to use the energy efficient techniques at home, and also wherever we are using the energy, like everywhere, wherever we can save the energy, it will be beneficial for us to sustain the energy for our future. So that is what is there in this curriculum. If you have any doubts or if you have any queries, you can contact me. I sit in P408 and I'm from Department of Electronics and Computer Science. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Rachel, I'll just stop sharing.
Sharing, yeah. अमय सर,
मशीन से बैठ क्या? हाँ, दिखा है बेटा, ये दिखा है.
So the next orientation which we will be having would be for the subject maintenance of electronics equipment under the specialization maintenance engineering. So, and this would be given by Professor Swati Patil.
No, ma'am, I'm not unable to sharing my screen.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, you have 3 minutes.
Okay.
You can continue once we restart the meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what I have to do now?
Amay sir, shall we end and join again?
Okay, it is better now, ma'am.
I think it's better.
In the meantime, Richa madam, you can just show that screen where students get to see both the subjects for at least a minute.
Yeah.
And then
Yes,
we will
sir. Yes, sir. Yes. So, students, as in the beginning, I told you that every specialization is having 2 subjects, right? So, the first subject would be offered in SEM 5 and the next subject would be offered in SEM 6. So, I'll just share my screen. So, here you can see, to brief you again, we have total 14 specialization, right? These specializations are from different categories, right? Academics, non-academics, right? And every specialization is having 2 subjects into it. The first subject, as I mentioned, would be offered in semester 5. The orientation for these subjects is going on. And the second subject in the same specialization would be offered in SEM 6. I repeat again, one more important thing is once you choose your specialization, you cannot change it in SEM 6. So please make your choice properly. We would be sharing the syllabus of all the courses which would be offered in SEM 5 and SEM 6 both. The link to the syllabus will be available in the Google form with which you will be filling your subject choices. So you can go through the syllabus content again and you can decide your specialization. This session is also available on YouTube. You can revisit the site and you can watch it again, listen to it. All the faculty experts have also shared their locations. You can meet the experts if you want to have any doubt regarding any subjects. But the thing again I'm repeating is once you decide your specialization, you have to go for the same course in SEM 5 and SEM 6 under that specialization. So please wisely choose your specialization. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can now also unmute and ask regarding the choices. Also, as sir mentioned, you have to give 2 choices. There would be 2 choices which you have to opt in the Google form. By chance, if the first choice which you are offering is not floated by the institute have the right that if the number of students opting for any subject is less, we may not float a particular course. So if your first choice is not offered, your second choice would be considered as your choice for that Yeah, welcome again. I'm sorry for this. Swati ma'am, I've made you co-host. I'll just complete whatever I was mentioning.
Okay.
So students, as I mentioned, you have to give two choices in the Google form. If your first choice is not offered, your second choice will be considered. This would be happening if in case there are less number of students who have opted that for a particular course, we may not float that particular specialization. That time your second choice would be considered. So with this, I hand over the session to Swati ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think I'm unable to sharing my screen. Sharing
Ma'am,
is not turned
ma'am,
on.
have made you co-host. You please try. You would be able to share.
But the messages pop up. The host is not allowing sharing for this
You
meeting.
try again. Maybe I made you
Okay.
co-host just now, no? So try
Okay.
once again.
My screen is not visible, ma'am.
Okay, I will redo it. Just a minute. Let me
Okay.
try.
Okay.
Please check now, ma'am. Ma'am, please check now. Can you share your screen?
She's on mute.
No. No, the message is same, ma'am. Sharing is not turned on, and the host is not allowing sharing for this meeting.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. Just a minute. Give
Can
me
I
a minute.
leave and rejoin again?
Yeah, you do that, ma'am.
Okay, I'm trying.
Sir, by the time, can I play the video?
Yes, for visual arts. Yes.
So students, for the next subject, that is visual arts, we have a recorded video for the orientation. So I will play that video by the time ma'am rejoins. Sir, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Screen is
Yes.
visible.
Okay, okay. So I will just play the video. This is the orientation for the subject visual arts by Professor Jayesh Patil.
Yeah, Richa madam, audio is not there.
Sorry to stop it. I got a message that the video is not audible. I just need to check whether the video was audible.
No, the audio
No,
was
ma'am,
not.
it is not audible. Hmm.
It is not audible.
No, no.
Just a minute. I will reshare it.
Can develop creative problem solving
audible now?
skills and enhance their ability
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Uh,
to
so
express
I will restart
complex
it, okay?
concepts.
No, ma'am, it is audible. It is audible, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, I will start it from beginning again.
Okay, okay. ठीक.
Yeah,
हाँ,
just a minute. Yeah, just again once again a check.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am, it is audible.
Okay, okay.
Myself, Professor Jayesh Patil. I will introduce you all to the concept of visual art. Let's begin. What is visual art? Visual art is creative work made with skill and imagination to show ideas or feelings. It can include paintings, sculptures, drawings, photography, video, filmmaking, comics, design, crafts, printmaking, installations, and architecture. Engineers design using principles of science and use mathematical models to justify decisions. But visual art helps engineering students enhance creativity, improve design skills, and develop better visualization and problem solving abilities. What is the meaning of art in visual art? Means aesthetic representation and techniques. Importance of visual art in engineering enhances creativity. Visual art encourages engineers to think creatively. It helps them approach problems from different angles, come up with innovative solutions, and design unique structures or systems. Expresses emotions. Engineering students can develop creative problem solving skills and enhance their ability to express complex concepts in a more personal and emotional way. Communicates ideas. Visual art helps communicate ideas without using words. Students use color, shapes, lines, and space to share their design or projects. Cultural representation. Visual art helps represent and preserve culture. Students can use their work to show the traditions, values, and stories of their society through symbols, colors, and themes. Aesthetic values. Students can use aesthetic value in their work to create beauty that evoke a positive emotional responses. They includes using elements like harmony, balance, and proportion. Our syllabus. Our syllabus builds a strong foundation in visual art, focusing on creativity, technical skills, and practical applications, covering topics like drawing, painting, and design principles. Our first topic, fundamentals of drawing, with basic techniques, line works, and shading. Understanding shapes, forms, and perspectives. Our second topic, creative painting with colors, textures, and themes. Learning different painting styles and mediums. Our third topic, creative sculpture with basic of 3D design and sculpting. Working with various materials like clay, plaster, wood, metal, fiberglass. Our fourth topic, murals and relief. Designing wall murals, creating relief art with textures and dimensions. Our course objectives to promote the concept of visual design and understand the different meanings assigned to colors, its impact and problems. To instruct the basic skills required in drawing and painting through introduction in nature and study of still objects. To prepare the learners for the use of clay modeling techniques and its industrial applications. Our course outcomes acquire the skills necessary for aesthetic judgment, visual observation, and critical thinking required in different forms of art. Demonstrate the understanding of the concept of visual design with respect to the different meaning assigned to colors and the problem associated. Determine the importance of drawings and paintings with respect to nature and still objects. Perform successfully in expressing their feelings creatively. Develop the techniques required for clay modeling and sculpture for industrial use. Our assignments and assessment. First assignment, drawing. Second, creative painting. Third, creative sculpture. Fourth, murals and relief. Our internal assessment total 40 marks and end semester examination total 60 marks. Thank you.
Okay. So, with this, I now again request Swati ma'am, can you please check, are you able to share your screen?
Yes, ma'am. I think my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. Please continue.
Okay. So I'm Swati Patil from Electronics and Computer Science Department, and here is I have to give the presentation. Actually, the orientation on maintenance of electronics equipment. This subject is comes under the specialization of maintenance engineering. Last time this subject was took by Dr. Khade sir, but today he is not available, so I am here to present about this subject. So maintenance of electronics equipment, having just a second, just the teaching scheme is only just you have to complete some mini projects under this maintenance of electronics equipment, and there is a one small presentation on that PCB project, and this is about just the maintenance of electronics equipment subject. So there is a test 1 and test 2. Test 1 and test 2 is actually the continuous assessment and about the attendance and the project report, and that will be combining the average of the test 1 and test 2. Term work is also the attendance and continuous evaluation of your work, and practical is considering that the report and presentation. So there is a total, here is a total 100 marks subject. So course objectives of this subject is to demonstrate the use of different types of tools which is used in the electronics courses, to understand about the testing of different active and passive components which is mounted on the PCB, and to understand the TTL and CMOS digital IC tester, to demonstrate the computer assembling, troubleshooting, and software installation. Understanding the concept of circuit diagram of LED, LCD TVs and the mobile phone troubleshooting. Basically, we have to see the how to troubleshoot about that mobile phone and understanding the concept of medical equipments. Actually, we will be able to understand the basic concepts of electronics. We can explain the principle and importance of maintenance in electronic systems. We can distinguish between the different types of maintenance. The different types of maintenance is preventive, corrective, and predictive. So we can differentiate between the different types of this maintenance. We can identify the common faults. We can recognize the typical faults which is created in electronic components and systems. Means अगर कोई कंपोनेंट में कुछ खराबी है तो we can how we can face या troubleshoot that fault. We can do this, interpret the diagnosing the problems using these troubleshooting methods. We can use the tools like multimeters, oscilloscopes, and signal generators for fault detections. So these are about the course objectives of maintenance of electronics equipment. And after successful completion of this course, you can able to demonstrate the use of different types of handheld tools which is used in the electronics lab. You will be able to understand the testing of different active and passive components which is mounted on the PCB. Understanding the functionality of TTL and CMOS digital IC tester, you will be able to use the TINA software simulation, PCB wizard software simulations, and you can understand the concept of electronic circuit diagram, how it is working, how we can troubleshoot that circuit diagram, and you will be able to understand the use of CROs by measuring the frequency and voltage levels. Means while performing this mini project, we have to use, we have to implement some instructions. We have to follow the proper safety procedure during maintenance and repair work. We have to apply the electronic discharge protection techniques to avoid the equipment damage. We can maintain the documentation and service records. We can record the maintenance activities, test results, and repair actions. We can understand the reliability and service life. So basically, we have to use the technical manual schematics and the data sheets available, which is in the labs, and we can do this projector. So the mini project, last time we have did this mini project name is square wave generator using the timer IC 555. So this is the circuit diagram. So this circuit diagram, we are using that TINA simulation software to assemble this component. All these components are available in the TINA simulation software, and we can make this circuit diagram by using the simulation. And by using this software, and this is the PCB artwork. So there are actually some steps how to make that PCB. So we have to make the PCB by using PCB wizard software, and then we have to prepare a copper clad board. We have to do the etching method, means to put our PCB board in FeCl3 where your unwanted copper is removed, and then the board is ready to assemble these components. Actually, this is that this circuit shows the PCB artwork after the etching, and then the board is ready to assemble the components on the PCB, and then we have to do the drilling on the PCB board by using the drill bit. Then we can solder these components by using the solder gun, and then these are the final testing results. How our output is observed on the project. So this is the square wave generator, and this waveform shows that charging and discharging waveform. So these are the outputs of the PCB. These are the outputs waveforms observed on the CRO. These are some outputs, and at last, what is the importance for studying this maintenance in electronics equipment? So that we can ensure the optical performance and reliability. We can prevent the unexpected failures or hazards. We can extend the equipment's lifespan. We can save the cost by reducing the major repairs, and we can also gain the study of electronic components, circuit diagrams, schematics, reading and interpreting, testing the equipments, multimeter, oscilloscope, logic analyzers, use of these equipments, We can also do the fault diagnosis, identifying the short circuits, open circuits, and other malfunctioning components. We can get the knowledge of soldering and desoldering, means how we can use the techniques for repairing the PCB boards. We can get the knowledge of power supply, maintenance of AC and DC adapters and batteries, and and the other softwares. So by using this MME subjects, you can get all this knowledge, the types of maintenance also. And this is the internal assessment for IA marks. You have to actually do this PCB boards, PCB and the presentation. So IA marks is based on the attendance and the project work which department will be given to you, and continuous assessment of this work will be the considered as a final IA mark. An end semester examination of 60 marks. In this group of students will have to give a presentation of their project, and questions will be asked based on the project and the instruments and what software they have used. And these are the some textbooks: troubleshooting and maintenance of electronics equipments, mobile repairing books. These textbooks and these evaluation schemes, IA marks, end semester examination, all these given in the syllabus also. So thank you. I'm sitting in T302. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So the next which we have with us, Dr. Dipali Srivastav. She would be delivering the orientation for the subject environmental management under the specialization, environment. Dipali ma'am, will you please check, can you share the screen?
Yes, ma'am. My screen is visible, ma'am?
Ma'am, not yet. I've made you co-host.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Just a minute. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's visible. You can continue.
Yes. So, good afternoon, all of you. I am giving you the course orientation on ILOC 372 Environmental Management. And if you think that why environmental management? So, environmental management is an exciting, diverse field with undeniable importance in the contemporary world right now. It started with the use of resources, energy distribution pattern, water usage, then waste generation, disposal, reduction, prevention, reusability, comes to carbon emission, biodiversity, and the cycle goes on. So if you say that environmental management is it involves the processes that minimizes humanity's impact on surroundings, and the main objective is to create and maintain conditions in which society and nature can coexist. Since its formal recognition, it has become mandatory practice for government and organizations to have this individual earning a professional qualification to ensure its successful implementation. So if we say that everybody is now concerned from ocean to ozone, this is undeniable importance. And studying environmental management can help you understand how to shape human interaction, why environmental management is now included in organizations, because every organizations now requires to reduce the risk of non-compliance with regulatory requirements of running their business in India or abroad. They want to improve the health and safety practices for employees and the public. They want to reduce waste production, combat pollution, and improve companies' reputation. So for all these things, they need to involve environmental management and experts in environmental management degrees to execute their smooth operations. An increase in public awareness of environmental hazards and sustainability. It is, and with the dramatic rise of population, it is likely to contribute for the rising demands who have a specialist knowledge and skills to lead the pack as an environmental management. For all under this courses, you need to understand the environmental issues. You need to learn to influence policy, planning, and behavior to create the change. And in this course, which is offered, you also need to identify factors that degrade the environment. How you can help in environmental management? So if you are associated with a corporate which is having the pollution prevention, or any big companies, suppose JSW and big plants, which needs their which needs to cap their CO2 emissions and pollution prevention, how you can contribute? You can measure, you can monitor, you can assess and mitigate the details. If your company, or in future you are associated with a company which is having the projection for waste reduction, you can identify and mitigate degradation. If your company or corporate is structured to have a resource conservation, you can develop sustainable technologies. So if we will go on the sector of job, including environmental management, so according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, uh, from 2016 to 2026, the growth rate is being projected as 11%. If in broader terms, the Bureau of Labor Statistics gives the data that 2021 to 2031, the projected growth rate will be 8.8% for environmental scientists. In addition to environmental management, there are many potential job paths with the people with this particular background can contribute. That includes environmental consulting, environmental
खराब कर रहा सुबह
education,
सुबह
public relationship, and policy analysis. And if in the parallel vertical, which is ILOC 386, in which you study industrial regulation and laws, you can also contribute to the uh, bigger firms, which are bigger firms and clients which are having the environmentally related issues. So these are the general projections of new job and projected new numbers for environmental manager. The positions can be environmental scientist and specialist, environmental science associates, environmental consulting, environmental policy analyst, and in environmental education. It's a proper cycle where plan, do, check, act goes on, because there will be resource utilization, emission, waste reduction, and the cycle goes on. Recently, this bigger companies like JSW are now contributing to this plastic awareness, waste management, upcycling. They are engaged with the empowerment, like EcoCari. They have used the management of plastic waste by converting them in uh, different type of bag and aesthetics to be used. If we will go for the course of this environmental management, the contact hour will be 3 for theory, 3 credit course. IA1 will be of 40 marks. IA2 will be of 40 marks. The IA1 will be, one IA will be sort of written, and one IA will comprises of your case study and your presentation, like that. And the end semester exam will be of 16. So if you will go on the module wise uh, distinctions of this particular subject, the fundamentals of environmental science, in which you will be going to study the general course of on biodiversity, ozone depletion, and hydrosphere, lithosphere, which you know from your previous classes. Environmental chemistry of toxic chemicals, where you will going to have a little aspect of experimental data, so that you can decode that experimental data. Because you, as an environmental manager, you often translate data and technical information into insights that are easily understood by professionals outside the field. And actually, the graduates with the knowledge of environmental management can expect strong demand for their expertise. So in this, you will be having the biological oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand. So just by reading the data, you can tell that this particular thing is going to work, not working out like that. Then you will be having a fundamentals of environmental management, objectives, role of engineers in environmental management, scope of environmental management, where you will be getting the awareness of ISO certifications, where you will be getting to know about the social management plan, overview of environmental laws in India and abroad also. You will get to know different acts are there, different treaties in India which are working for environmental issues. You'll get to know, and environmental conservation and agreement, conventions and agreement like Kyoto Protocol, general agreements which happen and how it is developed and how it is being accepted worldwide, you will get to know. So this is all the overview of the environmental management course. The internal assessment of 40 marks, one compulsory class test, continuous evaluation, class test assignment, quiz or case study will contribute to other 40 marks of internal assessment, and your NSEM examination will be of 60 mark theoretical paper. So I'll end my presentation, and if you have any queries, you can contact me at your email. I'll be sitting in chemistry lab, ASMH department, first floor. You can anytime contact me for this. The vertical for this will be IL 386 Industrial Regulation and Laws in SEM 6. So all the best, and get the glimpse of this. Over to you, Richa madam.
Yeah, thank you, Dipali ma'am. So students, some important points to note down. There are 2-3 subjects for the for which the orientation have not been scheduled now due to some technical problem and unavailability of the experts. The videos for the remaining subjects would be available on your groups, right? We will be sharing it soon. The Google form by which you have to opt for your elective will be floated by Monday. So you have to fill your choices through the Google form, and the last date to fill your choices is 31st of May. So I repeat again, the video links of the few subjects which are remaining will be shared on your groups. The Google form will also be shared on your groups. The last date for submitting your choices is 31st May. You have to go for 2 choices in the Google form, as I mentioned earlier. So with this, I conclude today's orientation. Amey sir?
Yeah, I think thank you everyone for joining. If anyone has any questions, please you can raise your hand and ask regarding the choice. So again, as I said, as madam said, the choice form for the ILOC will be floated by Monday. Last date is 31st of May to give your choices. Again, when we are saying choices, you have to give 2 choices. In case if the first choice is not floated, like if we don't have enough number of students, the second choice will be considered. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Apart from this, if you have any questions, you can ask. Else, we will wait for 1 minute, or else we will conclude the session. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank you, all the experts, those who have joined in today and delivered the orientation. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Thank you. The channel also, MES channel, those who want to revisit, they can listen the video, and those, please convey this to your friends also, those who were unable to join, they can listen to the orientation on our MES channel. Thank you all. So with this, I end the meeting for all. Thank you all.